Welcome everyone to the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick,
And I'm Preston.
and Jim's not here today, and Bursley is not here either.
He's AWOL.
Yeah, well, he's here, but he's tired. He's a tired
Yeah.
boy. He's napping right now. It's been a long couple days for him. I have been back on the jogging path, okay, trying to break that 10-minute mile. And Bursley is there right by my side. So a few days of jogging, and now he's down for the count.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back next week. Now, I want to remind everyone at Peak, we believe by providing education and guidance, we can help inspire you to make great financial decisions so you can retire with peak confidence. And one thing that we can do is implement this concept of Peak Income 360. So this logo we have here, Peak Income 360, diversify your income. I like that a lot. And when we were creating this like 8 years ago, 9 years ago maybe, I was thinking about calling it Income from Everywhere. So which one do you like better?
I like the Peak Income 360.
No, diversify your income or Income from Everywhere.
I'd say diversify your income.
Yeah, I think diversify is a good buzzword, but
right.
The whole 360, right, concept, we want income coming in from many different places, right? So
Right.
Income from Everywhere kind of rolls off your tongue nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think about it both ways, right? And I think that it works.
Mhm.
So there's this formula that we came up with, okay? And I think that if you followed this formula, you can have nothing to worry about with money, okay?
Yeah.
So you got to start, young, okay? But the formula is number one, put 15% of your money into your 401. And then we can say whether it's traditional or Roth or HSA or IRA, Roth IRA, I don't really care. But let's save 15% of our money and let's get it invested on a tax advantage basis.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Number two was buy $1 million of rental real estate. Now, how did I come up with that? Well, the book that we mentioned in the last podcast, the last episode, the Keller Williams book, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. That was part of their formula was go buy $1 million, okay? Because then you can start getting a snowball effect going. And you can use leverage, okay? This book was written in the 90s, so there's like monster leverage everywhere, okay? They wrote the book as if real estate never goes down, and we know that's not true. But if you do it carefully, right, and you buy $1 million, right, that's probably a goal of yours.
Yeah, definitely. My goal, honestly, is way above $1 million eventually, one day down the road. But yeah, just keep an eye on the leverage. It's okay to use leverage. Just keep an eye on it and make sure you're not over leveraging yourself or exposing yourself to potentially losing it all. But
yeah, that's what can happen with leverage. It can sink the ship. And so the third part of the formula is to have no debt, right? And we talk about this all the time. Doesn't mean you can't have debt today, like you were just saying. We want to use leverage to get that real estate, but we got to have a plan to have it paid off. And the thing that's nice about rental real estate is that the tenants will help you pay it off if it's done right. But really what no debt means is by retirement age, we don't want debt. We talked a lot about that last week.
Yeah. Eliminating the debt before retirement age, it is another form of income, diversifying your income, because now you no longer need to withdraw from the portfolio to cover that. So.
Yeah, and I think that you mentioned that last week as well, right? If we have eliminated $1,000 a month payment, that's worth a $300,000 portfolio.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that's kind of like having an extra income stream.
Right.
By eliminating a cost.
Right.
Also, we have up here Social Security. So Social Security naturally is going to be part of your income in retirement, but the spirit of having Social Security as one of the spokes here is delayed Social Security. We want to try and delay so we can maximize.
Right. Yeah. If you can build your financial plan around delaying Social Security as long as possible, you're just going to allow the plan to look as good as it can be, really.
What about those people though that have this emotional need to say, I'm finally getting my money back?
Right. Yeah, for couples who feel that way, we talk all the time about let's take one early so that way you can build that emotional need of I'm getting what the government owes me. And also, this allows you to not have to withdraw as much from the portfolio early on. But let's delay the bigger Social Security amount. Let's push it out as long as we can. That way, it can be a big benefit while you're living, but also when one spouse passes away, surviving spouse automatically gets whoever Social Security was bigger of the two. So they can automatically step into this much larger amount.
When I started in the business in 1999, we didn't say consulting. We'd say Walmart greeter. Let me redo that for the real. When I started in the business in 1999, we didn't talk about consulting. We talked about a part-time job like the Walmart greeter. But now we say consulting. Let's use your wisdom, your skill set, and make a high hourly rate where you don't have to work very much and it can be low stress, but it can be worth a couple thousand a month for a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
And so that can really help supplement and help you delay that Social Security, help you maybe delay withdrawals from the portfolio where you can give the portfolio some breathing room so you're not tapping it from day one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, to add to that point, we talk to plenty of clients who they enter what we call semi-retirement and they do this consulting type gig, but they're able to cut their hours. Maybe they were 40, 50 hours a week. Now they're maybe 10 or 15 hours a week, but their income was only cut in half, even though they cut their hours by more than that, because they're able to get that high hourly rate because of all the wisdom they've gotten.
That's right. And my dad took advantage of consulting for the first couple of years of retirement. He worked, a lot of hours in sales and he had a lot of different accounts. And when he retired, he was able to keep, I believe, 3 or 4 different accounts where they worked together for 30 years and they're friends. And so he was able to continue those professional relationships and make a couple thousand a month for a couple years, which certainly helped his financial plan. That's what we're talking about with consulting. And by the way, why is it in our culture, in our society, that we hit this wall at age 60 or 65 or whatever it is, and now all of that wisdom and knowledge and experience just goes out the window?
Right.
Doesn't that have some value?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think we might be seeing a shift soon because it seems like a lot of the people we talk about nowadays who are in their 30s, 40s, even 50s, they all see this semi retirement and they say, that's what I want to do. I don't want to have this hard stop and let all my years of learning just end and no longer provide value. I want to continue providing value, whether it's 5 hours a week or 20 hours a week. I want to continue to provide the world some value.
And many times for men especially, we have our identity all wrapped up in our career and in our profession. And to just have this hard stop, it can be very difficult to transition into retirement with nothing to do, right?
Right.
We can't just have leisure. So we need to have meaningful purpose. Oftentimes that is being connected with others. And hey, I think part of that also is this wisdom and experience that we can share with the world,
Right.
like you said. So hey, if you're listening on the podcast, this is a reminder to check us out on YouTube and subscribe and hit that bell. It's a much better experience for everyone. And by the way, if you would like to tap into the Peak Income 360 formula for yourself, you can reach out to us at peakwm.com and set up an appointment online.